everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Theo and today I want to share with you all my knitting books. I've got a crochet book here and lots of knitting books and some magazine. That includes stitch books, color work books, technique books, designing, also knitwear. So if you would like to see that, then stick around. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first ever book that I purchased. This is my all-time favorite. I used it so much and I'm still going to use it a lot. It's beautiful. It has, like the title says, 400 knitting stitches inside. It has really specific instructions, both written and charts. And inside you find any kind of stitch between very easy, that includes just knits and purls, ribbing, garter stitch, lace work, color work, more complicated and complex stitches, and it's just beautiful. This book, I've had it for, did I write? I normally write what year I buy them, but I didn't write. I've had it for at least 6 or 7 years, I think. And I used it. I think I've done pretty much I've tried pretty much every stitch here. I cannot show you obviously the patterns because you would have to buy the book for it, but maybe I can just show it to you like this. So here you can see that you have cables and obviously you will have a chart next to it and a written row by row written instruction. It's beautiful. It's like you can see all these gorgeous cables and stitches and all kinds of beautiful work they have inside it. So at the beginning you will find instructions of how to do a knit stitch and a purl stitch, a decrease and increase and all that. And then you have all the stitches in chapters. The first chapter is knit and purl stitches, so all the combinations that you can think of with knit stitches and purl stitches together or on their own. Then you have crossed stitches and cables. Then after that it goes into slip stitches and you have a lot of different combination of slip stitches. There is also a section with some slip stitches and color work like that. So you have the honeycomb, you have the brick, I think it's called, well, or ribbon stitch, brick stitch. After that you have lacy stitches, so all kinds of lace that forms either flowers or leaves or just houses, even mini houses, which is really cute. And then you have double stitches. There are just a few double stitches in here. Then you have twisted stitches, so obviously when you do a twisted rib, the knit stitch pops out a little bit more, so it gives an extra, you know, thing to your knitting. And then you have the fancy stitches, and in here there's a combination of lace with cables and slip stitches all together. At the end you have the symbols, so because you have charts in the book, you have the symbols for those charts. It's very easy to use. It's a complete dictionary of essential stitch patterns. That's what it is, and it's my favorite book and my most used book. Beautiful. So that's my first book that I purchased, and I don't remember what was the second or the ones after that, but I think the second one, it might have been this one. This one is the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. It has 260 exquisite, and I mean it, is beautiful, patterns by Hitomi Shida. It's translated, so you don't need to worry about not understanding anything. Actually, the book, it's just it just has the stitch pictures, beautiful photography, and the charts. You don't get written instructions here, but at the end of the book you have, actually I think it's at the beginning, yeah, at the beginning of the book you have all the different characters for the charts. It's just gorgeous to look at. Very complicated to knit, so I wouldn't recommend as a beginner knitter to just dive into these charts, because there's some of them are really complicated charts, but I enjoyed it. I use it, I change things around, I add or I take out different parts of the charts, combine them together to create a new design. So yeah, it's split in chapters as well. So the first part is lacy patterns with bubbles. So you have lots of lacy patterns with bubbles like that. Then you have just lacy patterns. After that, lacy patterns with leaves. Then with scallops. Then with smocking, bead embroidery. So you have some stitch charts, I guess I can call them, with beads, which are gorgeous. Then we have just overall patterns. So if you want to do a big long scarf, you can take one of those stitch patterns and incorporate it in your scarf, or knit your scarf with all of it. Then we have crossing stitch patterns, patterns with panels, pattern arrangements, round yokes, which is really helpful if you want to knit your round yoke either bottom up or top down. So he's got yokes, as you can see. I can show you the yokes because they don't have any charts in them. So you have yokes, there we go, beautiful yokes. Then you have edges, so lots of edges that you could choose from to finish your garment. And you also have some patterns. So at the end you will have a place where you find all the charts for the yokes and then the pattern. So you have a sock pattern, a scarf, like a beautiful lace scarf pattern, a hat, and I think that is all. And also at the end it shows you with pictures and with charts how to do some of the increases and decreases. So all in all, it's a great book. Not beginner friendly, I would say, but it's just gorgeous. It's a work of art, and when you look at that, it's just beautiful. The front picture, the front photo reminds me of a church windows. I don't know why, maybe because they're like pointy like that, but yeah. So that is Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible, and it's another one of my purchases that I use all the time, a lot. It's just gorgeous. Then, so those are my stitch ones. Then I bought this book. This book is Feminine Knits, Must Have Chic Designs 25, and this is a pattern book, and I have another one, I think, one or two other ones. It's great to have a book like this, because if you go on Ravelry and you want to buy a pattern, you would pay £6-7 or dollars or euros for a pattern. But this, you can find this book on Amazon, I think I bought it, and it has 25 patterns in it, and it doesn't cost that much. I think it was about 14, 15 or 16 pounds, which is a bargain with 25 different patterns in it. Now, I'm not saying that you end up creating all the patterns, but you will find something that you like. So let's see what we've got in this book. You will have, see if I can show you some. You will have this one, which is a garter cardigan. Then you have a longer version for that, and I love this. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. This would work fine, beautiful as a jacket. Then you have like a shrug, I think it's called. I'm not going to show you all of them because we'll be here forever, but I just want to show you some of my favorites. Oh yeah, I know everyone is going. The reason why I bought this book is because I wanted this particular pattern. Let me find it. So I bought the book for this pattern because I couldn't find the pattern anywhere else. It's this one. It's a mohair blouse, which is gorgeous. It's called Cecilia, and I couldn't find it on Ravelry or anywhere else to download it as a PDF, so I had to buy the book for it. So if you're looking for that pattern, it's in this book, along with a lot more. It's got some cardigans, short ones, long ones, some mittens. Oh, this one is another one of my favorite. It's like a hoodie. It's just beautiful. So all in all, I recommend this book because it's got lots of gorgeous patterns, and you get a lot of patterns for the price. So that is Feminine Knits, 25 must-have chic designs. And that's the author. Lene Holme Samsoe. I don't know how to say that, but that's the author. Okay, so since we're talking about pattern books, let me show you some of the other ones that I have. I have a Laine magazine, just one. It's a very, it's not cheap. And the reason why I don't have more is because all the patterns are PDF. You can buy the PDFs on Ravelry, so you can see all the pictures that you want from this magazine. And if you only like 2 or 3 of them, then you can buy them like that instead of the book. The book, I think it's about £20, 20 some euros, I think. The reason why I wanted this particular one is because of this pattern, and obviously you can find it on Ravelry, but let me show you another picture for that pattern. I love that pattern. I haven't made it yet, but I'm looking into getting some nice yarn to knit that one with. Where is it? Come on. Oh, here we go. It's called Lotta, and pattern is by Marie Green. There it is. See if I can find another picture of it. Yeah, here we go. You can see a full picture of it there. It's just beautiful, isn't it? It will use, I think it uses like woolen spun yarn. You know, the patterns are usually at the end of the book. So at the beginning you see all the pictures, and then at the end you see you'll see all the pattern directions. Let me just check what yarn it uses. Tuku wool sock, so 80% finish wool and 20% nylon, and it uses quite a lot. 1184 is the extra small version meters. But yeah, that is Laine magazine, and it has a lot more patterns in it. But I will link it down below their Ravelry page, so you can go on Ravelry, choose this particular edition, or what would you call it? This is number 5, summer 2018, and then it will list all the patterns that are in this book there. So this is another pattern book that I have, and I quite enjoy looking through. It's beautiful, like a coffee table book, to be honest. And also you've got the patterns in it, but I haven't knitted anything from it. And then I have a Rowan. This is, which edition is this one? I don't think it says. It's Easy DK Knits by Martin Storey. 12 designs introducing superfine merino DK and pure wool superwash DK. So this was the edition when they released those two yarns, and I bought this because of a few patterns in it that I quite liked. I like this one, which is the Barbican. So it has the Barbican in it. I'm sure they have them on their website as well. What's this one called? This one is Greenwich. I don't remember how much I paid for this one. It doesn't have the price on it. Oh yeah, I like this one, Hoxton, as well. It's kind of like a cropped with a cable. They have a lot of beautiful patterns in here, to be honest. Mostly sweaters, if not all sweaters. Yeah, sweaters and cardigans. So you have 12 patterns. Again, it's a lot cheaper to buy like this if you like all the patterns in it than to buy each pattern individually. So that is Rowan Easy DK Knits. All right, let's see some other magazines that I have, and then we're gonna get on to some color work. I bought this one, I think in W.H. Smith's. I tried to find a different, like a newer version. This is volume 2, but I couldn't find any more in it. And it has different patterns. It's got some, you can see some of them. They have adults, children patterns, baby patterns, men patterns as well. And I like this button neck jumper by Men, Knits for Men. Let me see if I can find the picture in here for you. I don't know where you could find this, but if I could figure out where to get it from, then I will put it down below. I can't find the men's pattern in it, but it has 45 grade knits inside. It might not have that pattern, to be honest. Yeah, 45 grade knits, more than makes for every style. Here are some of the patterns that you can find inside. So you have homeware, some accessories. So that is another magazine that I have. I also have this one. I bought this one. Oh, I can't even remember, but I think I found it in W.A. Smith's, and I like these Fair Isle chunky, kind of like a loungewear jumper in it. So it was, I mean, you still get quite a few patterns in it, and it's £4.99 knit today. So I'm sure you can get some of these in W.H. Smith's. Then I have this one, which is my all-time favorite for Christmas knitting. You have all the nativity knitting in here, and I have a series on a playlist on my YouTube channel, and I'm showing you how I knit all of them. Obviously you would have to get the pattern for the stitch count here, but I talk you through all the techniques to knit the whole nativity, starting with the donkey, the sheep, wise men, Mary, Joseph, the angel. So all that, I will link my playlist down below. If you want to do your own nativity, then I suggest you get started, because they do take quite a while to do. And that is it. This is a crochet, so I'll keep it with a crochet. Then moving on to another book that I bought because Suzanne from Knitting with Suzanne Bryan recommended, is this one, and it's been a huge help for me, because obviously I started designing more lately since the lockdown, but the only thing because I knit my size, I can knit my mom's size, but then knitting other sizes is a bit hard to work gauge and, you know, measurements and all that. But this book is just perfect. It has different techniques, so it's top-down sweaters, raglan sweaters, in satin sleeve, yoke sweater, v-neck, crew neck, all kinds of sweaters you could knit from here. And also you get patterns for them as well. So here's a yoke sweater, that's a satin sleeve, I think, raglan, and a cardigan. And what I love about it is that it's just a perfect help for starting to design your own knitwear. And it gives you a lot of instructions. You get sizes for children and for adults, anywhere between extra small to 5 extra large. So yeah, anyone could knit something with it. So even if you do not look into designing your own knitwear or jumpers, you can still buy this, because you get patterns in each chapter. And also if you want to knit for someone else, they can just give you their measurements, and then you go back here and then you see how many stitches you need to cast on for someone else if it's not you. So this is a beautiful book. I recommend it 100%. It's by Ann Budd, and it's top-down sweaters, basic designs in multiple sizes and gauges. So yeah, that's another thing that I've got to say. It gives you gauges anywhere between 3 stitches per inch to 7 stitches per inch. So you go from fingering all the way to chunky pretty much. So yeah, that's another book. And then we move on to color work, which is been honestly on my needles a lot. And these are a lot of books that I have. There we go. These are all my color work books. I was trying to do a pose there for my thumbnail, but anyway, I'll probably have to take another one. Let's start with Alice Starmore. I've discovered, like I said in a previous video, I discovered Alice Starmore through Constance from Yarning Over the Days, and it opened a whole new world for me. I didn't know about this beautiful artwork that you could do just by combining different yarns together. Now you do kind of need to use very sticky wool to do all the color work. However, I have a video coming out on how I knitted my all-together sweater in wool and cotton blend, and I did Fair Isle and it worked fine. So I guess there is hope for for other types of yarn to use in Fair Isle. This one is charts for color knitting, so this is all it's got inside. You get charts, so you can see all different charts for color work, and that's all you get in this book. Obviously it's not for everyone, so if you do not look into designing or knit color work, then this is not for you. But this book I love because it has different combinations. So you get, this is what you get in the book. Pretty much every page has charts, just charts. No explanation of how to knit the charts, but at the beginning you have a lot of information of how to put a pattern, like a chart on as an all over sweater. It gives you measurements for sweaters. It's got some beautiful photography. It shows you how to do horizontal Fair Isle as well. So all in all, it's just beautiful. And here you can see one of the pictures, which is gorgeous. So yeah, this is just charts, like the title says, Alice Starmore's Charts for Color Knitting, new and expanded. So it's just charts. And also the charts are taken from like European type, Russian, South American. I think they have Greek, Japanese, and Celtic. So all kinds of charts in this book. So I haven't used it yet for anything of mine, but as you can see, I put some stickies here because I want to look into maybe incorporating one of those into my knits. And then before that one, I bought this one because I thought this is what I wanted as a kind of like a Fair Isle starter book. However, it's not my favorite. I prefer this one and another one that I'll show you in a minute. I prefer those two to this one, but still, it's a beautiful book. It's a stitch dictionary, like a colorwork stitch dictionary, and you get a lot of different stitches. You can see different stitches, 2 color, so only 2 color works. You don't get more colors in it, and you also get charts, so you don't get instructions, row by row instructions, but you get charts. The author also talks about color dominance, about how to keep tension, how to hold your yarn when you knit Fair Isle. So yeah, this one it's good. It's more modern because there are some stitches that I'm not really keen on, but I mean there's lots of them that you could use. So you have this kind, you have like rippley kind, you have animals, leaves, flowers, all kinds of different stitch patterns. So that is that. And then the other one that I really enjoy is this one, and this one is by MJ Mucklestone, 150 Scandinavian knitting designs, and it's what it is. It's beautiful. It has, on one side it has the beautiful color work, and on the other side you get the charts of how to knit it. Again, it has all kinds of different combinations from, oh here you can see more of this here. So all these beautiful designs, you get them in charts, and you can use 2 colors or 3 colors, or you know, use your imagination to combine all of them together. Here's another beautiful page with the stitches that you can find. So hearts, you can find people. I love this dancing one, and all kinds of beautiful Fair Isle. So this is in this one, 150 you get. You also get at the beginning some how to cast on, how to keep your tension with pictures, how to use 2 yarns at a time. A lot of good instruction. It also gives you instructions on steeking. So if you knit Fair Isle, it's a lot more easier to knit it in the round and then cut it down the front, which is called steeking, and then pick up stitches to create a band. So you get instructions for that in here as well, which is really helpful. And then I've created 2 patterns with slip stitch. One of them, well, both of them are called licorice. One of them is a licorice shawl, and the other one is a licorice cardigan, and it has a slip stitch part in it that kind of inspired me to get this book. This book is called The Art of Slip Stitch Knitting, and it's what it is. It has different ways of using the slip stitch to create kind of like a Fair Isle effect, but not taking 2 colors in one row. So it's a lot easier, but obviously you can't do as much with it as with Fair Isle, but it still looks gorgeous. Here you can see they look like Fair Isle socks, but they're slip stitch. That one is slip stitch as well. Slip stitch. You could do slip stitch with different colors or slip stitch with 1 color. And you also have patterns in this book, which is great. You get patterns for a cardigan, patterns for a scarf, for a jumper, for a vest, for a cowl. I love this cardigan. It's beautiful, isn't it? And let's see what else we can find. There's a shawl, slip stitch shawl, another cardigan, just gorgeous stuff in it. Yeah, here it says it's $26. It was a bit cheaper on Amazon. I think it was reduced, so I think I probably pay like £16 or so. A great investment, I would say. A lot to learn from it. You learn how to not just, it doesn't just have charts or instructions. It has a lot more. It tells you how to do different slip stitches. There are also how to hold your yarn and how to cast on, how to do buttonholes. A lot of good information in this book as well. We're nearly down with all of them. This is another one, color work, but this one is a lot different. This one is brioche. And this is another technique that you can use to create nice color work, but using one strand at a time. But in brioche knitting, you would knit each row twice. Here you can see all kinds of different brioche techniques. This is Nancy Marchant, and in this particular one is the knitting fresh brioche, creating 2 color twists and turns. She has shawls pretty much, and here they are. So you get patterns to knit all these beautiful shawls. Oh my goodness, I'm looking, this video is 32 minutes already. You get instructions of how to knit brioche and also how to knit these beautiful patterns. All the techniques are explained with photos and written instructions, so you won't get confused about it. And you get charts as well. It shows you how to do increases, decreases in brioche, how to make leaves, how to make hearts. It's just gorgeous. So a lot to learn from this book as well. Yeah, at the end you have all the patterns. Look at that beautiful scarf, it's just gorgeous. So you have the instructions to knit all these. There you go. In here, as well as different other stitches that you can use to create beautiful brioche. So that is Knitting Fresh Brioche by Nancy Marchant. And then I have 2 crochet books. I don't use them much, to be honest, because I don't crochet much. I do maybe a basket, and now I'm crocheting like a rug. I've cut all my husband's old t-shirts into little stripes to make yarn from them, and I'm making a rug to see how far I can go with everything I have, but I'm not that good with crochet. This one is called Crochetopedia by Julia Parker, and it has patterns in it. This one, I had it since 2013. I like that it's like this, so it lays flat. It teaches you how to read the patterns, how to do a treble, a simple crochet, double crochet, and all that. How to make the popcorn stitch. So it takes you through all the different kinds of stitches that you would need, and then you have beautiful patterns. You learn how to knit a doll like that, a rug, a pillow, a pillowcase actually, a bonnet or a beret, 2 of them actually, scarves, a placemat, slippers, a little cat, earrings even, a nice summer vest top. So you have a lot of patterns. So you know, if you like to crochet, then this would be a beautiful book to have. It teaches you everything from the basics to complicated stitches, and you get patterns in it as well. And then I just have one of these little Afghans A to Z, which has patterns, I believe. Yeah, it has lots of different patterns. There you go. This is from an American friend of mine, so that's why it's called the American flag. But you have different kinds of combinations to create different Afghans. There we go. This one is old, I think. I can't see anything, but I will see if I can find it anywhere. Someone on Etsy might have it. This is what it looks like. It's by leisure artist, Our Best Afghan A to Z crochet. And yeah, that is all. Those are all my books, and I can't lift them up. Ooh. Here we go. These are all my knitting books, and I'm really proud of them, and all of them I use and I love, some more than others, but I'm happy with all of them. And I really hope that this video helped you. If you're looking for a book, if you want to buy any of these books and you don't know what to expect in it, then I'm hoping that this video helped you. So yeah, that is it. I'm gonna wrap it up now, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.